is the one that actually got me into his music. The Ooze. The Ooze. This is his second full-length album, which is called The Ooze. And I fully got into him after listening to this album. My older sister, who is how I actually became familiar with his music, had duo this one more. I like this more. What do you guys think? Also, I'm gonna have to listen to this because my headphones are very shitty, so I cannot fully hear what I'm recording as well as my other headphones. I don't know where they are, so please forgive me. But this is most likely gonna get uploaded because I don't feel like if I recorded this and it didn't go through, it'd be really heartbreaking for me because I've tried so many times to record today and it has just been absolutely frustrating to deal with. Especially when you live in Los Angeles and by the airport, it's just the worst. The live album is good. Obviously, Out Getting Rips is a great song to hear on the live album. Slush Puppy, not really my favorite actually on this one. But yeah, I digress. And here we have his latest full-length album, which is Space Heavy. Space Heavy. When it comes to covers, this is actually my least favorite one. I don't really like whatever this is in the center, but the colors are nice. And I really enjoy this album because it has Ravina. I saw Ravina live once too. I think it was like 2022. It's when I graduated high school, I think. Is that when I graduated high school? I can't truly remember. Actually, I don't know when I graduated high school. I feel so dumb. But there was a lot of songs I think off this album, or a couple songs off this album, that I got to hear live when he was on tour. But when he was on tour, I just was not really rocking with the shirts. At least for the US shows, they were just so ugly to me. But you know, it's really funny. Okay, this was my second year of college. I'm still in college. Just finished my third year. I'm about to head into my fourth. But starting my second year of college, I went on a date with a guy. And we got ice cream, whatever. But we're back in my dorm because I had my dorm to myself. And he takes off his sweater, and I'm realizing he's wearing this shirt. And I'm like, I did not like it, but he told me he wore it to impress me because that's like what we talked about before going on the date, about like King Cruel. It's just really funny to me because I was like, dude, I did not tell him like I was not rocking with the merch on that door. And the CD is purple. Sorry. I think I like this one more because compared to the other ones I just showed, like the last three I just showed, the first one is perfect because it's a jewel case. This one's a bit more solid because it has this little thing here. The other ones feel a lot more flimsy